Hello, welcome to Engage, the program that focuses on community-engaged research, service, and learning here at Mississippi State University. Today I am joined by Dr. Jeffrey Leffler from MSU's Division of Education. Dr. Leffler, welcome.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
If we could start off, I wanted if you could share with our viewers who you are, how you've come to MSU, and a little bit about your role before we get into talking about one of your exciting projects.
Well, I'm Jeff Leffler, as you said. I have many years experience in education, most of those working in early childhood education, some work in the elementary world as well. I first came to MSU in 2008 and worked for the Early Childhood Institute. In 2012, I had the opportunity to go work for the University of Southern Mississippi and serve as the executive director of the Center for Child Development there. And in 2016, I finished my doctoral degree and had the opportunity to come here to the MSU Division of Education as an assistant professor of elementary ed. I feel like I've come back home to MSU, and I'm also serving as the graduate coordinator for the division.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And really what I wanted to get into today, so recently we awarded our 2020 Community Engagement Awards here at MSU. The Scholarship of Engagement Award went to a project which you are the leader of called Given Child Meridian. And I wanted our viewers and myself really to learn more about what that project is, how long it's been operating, and just some more information about if there are ways to get involved. So just let's start off with, how did it start and what is it?
So Any Given Child is a national initiative operated by the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, which is based in Washington, D.C. They have recognized communities across the nation that have a very strong emphasis on and work in the arts, particularly connected to education. There are 28 municipalities across the nation that have received that distinction. And the city of Meridian, and specifically the Meridian Public School District, was recognized by the Kennedy Center as an Any Given Child community beginning in 2016, which just happened to correspond when I came here to MSU Meridian. So initially, I just had the role of kind of being a spectator on the side. Charlotte Tabarot, who was the education director for the Riley Center here at MSU, was the key leader of the project at that time. And shortly thereafter, she had the opportunity to retire, and so I got the privilege of taking on the reins of the project at that time. And basically, it just facilitates arts integration in our school district. So we work with community partners and the school district, others here at the university, to ensure that every child in the Meridian Public School District has access to the arts as part of their education experience.
And what are some of the ways that that the program has? What are the strategies that you have used to ensure that all the children are getting exposure to the arts?
So a big component of the project is professional development for teachers. We have facilitated bringing in teaching artists from the Kennedy Center and other teaching artists more locally here in Mississippi to work with teachers in the district. One of the key things that we've done is this acting right strategy, where we utilize some drama strategies to also help teachers with their classroom management. Seen some very big gains in terms of student attention and lack of office referrals and that kind of thing from utilizing that strategy. We've also worked with teachers to develop arts integrated lesson plans, and many people think of, just like using the arts in their instruction, singing the ABC song for teaching letters and that kind of thing. Truly arts integrated lesson plan has standards in whatever curricular area you're teaching, English language arts, social studies, science, whatever that may be. And then also standards in the arts that are taught alongside, and mastery in the content area coincides also with mastery in the arts content. And so, definitely causes students to be more engaged with instruction when they have the opportunity for the arts. The other things we've done is simply providing resources to teachers in classrooms. Since we've been dealing with the pandemic, we've had less opportunity for, some of the live things that we did, and so we utilized some of our resources to create a piano lab at a school and things like that. And then a big hallmark of the project prior to COVID was providing arts integrated field trips for each grade level, kindergarten through 8th grade in the district, where they would do things like going to shows at the Riley Center and things like that, and then also engaging in learning activities around those.
Well, it definitely sounds all-encompassing. And you mentioned COVID. Of course, with lots of things there, we have had to learn how to do things different ways. Have there been any modifications you've been able to make with the program in order to operate it this year?
So we did a professional development opportunity for teachers in the district, and then also we opened it up across the state as well for anybody that wanted to participate. We did this at the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience here in Meridian that afforded us large spaces where we were able to socially distance while we provided a very robust professional development opportunity. The other thing that we decided to do, in addition to simply putting more investment in providing resources for when students are able to come back to classrooms, we also created a professional development track where we're taking a smaller group of teachers more deeply into this idea of arts integration. It's a cohort model where we're really kind of addressing those leaders in buildings, teacher leaders, and helping them to become that role model for other classrooms at their school. And then we also have just really kind of thought through what we can do to get ready and ramp up once students are back into the classrooms, and then looked at how can we provide resources for students to utilize at home or community-based. We worked with some community organizations to bring some arts integrated experiences to local communities. Where students could gather in public parks or that type of setting where they could, be safe and socially distanced, but also still continue to have that access to the arts.
Very neat, very neat. Well, you talked a good bit about, strategies, the different things that the program has been doing. Perhaps this is an obvious question, but what benefits both for students in the community and for MSU have you seen through the operation of Any Given Child Meridian?
So we've had some pretty exciting results from this project. One thing that we've done is we've embedded a research subcommittee on our community arts team to help us collect some data and analyze that data to see what we're seeing from our efforts. And prior to COVID, we had the opportunity to both look at what was happening in the district in terms of their accountability scores on some of the high stakes testing type things that the state does with them. And then we also delivered a survey to all of the teachers in the district to get their perspective on how they felt the Any Given Child efforts were impacting what we were seeing in that other data. And some big findings that we found is that the district had a much lower turnover of teachers. And the teachers pointed to the arts integrated efforts that we were doing, causing them to have higher job satisfaction, causing them to want to, remain in the district and continue in their very important role as a teacher. We also saw a reduction in chronic absenteeism of students. So we're seeing students who are actually choosing to be in school more. Had a really powerful anecdote from one student who had gotten in trouble with the law, actually, and basically told the judge that the way that the teachers were teaching prior was not the way that he learned. And then the teachers were able to point to a transformation that happened because the student had access to the arts and began learning in ways that they could learn. All of our schools in the district have had a gain in their accountability rating, some double-digit gains. And again, the teachers are pointing back to the arts integrated work that we're doing as being a major contributor to those gains.
Well, obviously, the reason that this is an award winner is it is showing proven results for the community there in Meridian. What do you see for the future of Any Given Child?
So we have been, obviously looking at how do we build on successes, continue the things that have really worked well, and then begin some new things and look at how we can translate this to where others can benefit from this. So we've had some communication with the Mississippi Arts Commission about potentially partnering with them to use our Any Given Child effort as a model that can be replicated across the state. We have also looked at what we're doing here in the Division of Education with our students to make sure that we're leveraging opportunities for our students to engage in learning in the community, specifically around arts integration. We have set a goal that all of our programs here in the Division of Education, from elementary ed all the way to counselor ed, have some component of arts integration as a key aspect of that program and how we provide that offering for our students. And we're just generally looking to, continue to see these gains in our district. One kind of pie in the sky goal that we have is to develop a partnership school similar to the one that was recently developed on the main campus here, with this kind of arts integration central theme to it. So some very exciting ideas that we're venturing into, waiting for this pandemic to end so that we can really kind of sink our teeth into those efforts.
Agreed. I am hopeful, and with the team that it looks like you have around you, it would seem that those plans that you have, those hopes that you have, will eventually come into fruition. We have just a few moments left. I wanted to thank you again for joining us. For those of you for watching our conversation, and if you want to learn a little bit more, you can go to ccel.msstate.edu.